Do you want to introduce us?
Yeah.
Here we are.
No, not ready.
Films and Feels. This is Films and Feels. We watch films and we tell you what we feel. It's Films and Feels with Jacob and Josh. Welcome to Films and Feels.
I was going to say, I'm Jake.
Yeah,
And
let's
then,
do that.
Like
Let's
a
do
double
that.
act.
Okay.
I'm Jake.
I'm Josh, and this is Get in the Bin.
The bin.
Get in the bin.
We're trained actors. Why can't we do this?
We're trained actors. I'm a circus trained, but I've never done a podcast. And I think what we need to establish early on is that there aren't enough two white guys doing podcasts at the moment.
That's the thing. We went for lunch and we saw a niche.
We're here in the
Not plumbed
studio.
in, which is also my home.
We've been brought together by fate, haven't we, Jake?
We have. We're
It's actually quite
former colleagues. Is
former
that how you
colleagues.
describe it?
I think we'd say that. Yeah, it's quite a funny story how we came together, isn't it?
An advert for everyone's
A
favourite,
well-known
a well-known
housing rental,
conglomerate.
and it's
Zoopla.
purple. It's Zoopla.
It's Zoopla. We were both cast in an advert. I played estate agent. Josh here played
I don't even know what I was. I think I was just man in dressing gown.
man in dressing gown, hopeful homeowner.
Was that what it was called?
I think that's how I imagined it.
Hopeful homeowner.
Yeah.
The spotlight ad was, we're looking for a slightly overweight, but not too overweight, bearded, baldy man who looks like he could be like a dad in his mid-30s who's just getting out of bed. And that's my casting.
That sweet spot. You really dominate that niche.
That's all I got. That and my circus skills.
That's, hey, well, I'll tell you what. The adverts pay better than the circus.
Last time I saw you, I was still hardcore vaping, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You paid an extortionate amount for a vape in
I'm
Soho.
9 days in. 9 days in. I was vaping for like 6 months. Delicious. Loving it. I don't really have too many reasons to stop. I got to the point where my body had actually like adjusted. Like, I'd stopped getting mouth ulcers. I wasn't wheezing. I think my body was able to now cope with the vape.
Okay.
And I was just having a really
As he
good
coughs.
time as I cough my whole lung out. No, I was having a really good time, but I just thought like I was buying like two triple melon.
Triple melon.
3 melon, 3 times the amount of melon. I was actually doing like 3 triple melons a week. That's 9 melons.
That's a lot. I got caught into vaping when I did some market research,
Right.
which of course, as you know, is just out of work actors lying for cash. Which is
how-
our job most of the time. But I had to send a photo of me smoking a vape to sucking a vape.
For you to be able to
be
sell
able to
vape,
do
they
it,
wanted
yeah.
to know that you could
To
vape.
they wanted to believe it.
Have you done a lot of those discussion groups, Jacob?
I've done a couple. Done one on cheese.
Yeah?
A lot of vaping ones. There's a lot around vaping.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
I've not been asked to do any vaping ones. I literally love vaping.
Well, I'm definitely not going to put you in touch.
I've
'cause
done
you're on the
dog
straight
food.
and narrow now.
I did dog food.
How much dog food did you have to eat?
Okay, you know that I did a dog food commercial about a month ago, and I quote, the director said, the client would really like you to be eating the dog food in the shot. And I said, I'd really prefer to not be eating dog food. Can you get something that looks like dog food? And the man from the dog food company, I won't say which one, he stepped in and he said, if it makes you feel any better, when we all did our induction to join the job, they all sat us round and we all had to take a spoon of it. That doesn't make me feel any better, actually. That doesn't make me feel any better at all.
Did
I
you do a
ate
whole
3
spoon?
spoons. I ate 3 spoons.
wow.
Apparently it was human grade. I was like, a lot of things are human
Yeah,
grade.
but it has to be. What's not human grade? Poison? Like, not
It
fit
looked
for
like
human consumption?
dry bolognese mince, but I mean, it smelled like
kibble.
dog food. It smelled like dog food.
A lot of things smell like. What do we have
We
to
met
talk
on
about?
a Zoopla commercial.
I was going to ask, do you remember the room we met in?
It was like, what was it, castle?
No, it was,
It was a wedding venue. That was
yes.
it. And the wedding
night-
was all laid out.
And there was people's stuff under the tables, chandeliers
Croissants and
hanging from
coffee.
it. Croissants and coffee.
And then at one point it was just sort of me and you Just sort of waiting around, waiting for the...
Shooting the shit. Obviously, we were both there 10 hours earlier than we actually needed to be there.
I would say, actually, like, it was one of the easier commercials that I'd done. But I was just like, who's this guy, Jacob? I really like this guy. I was like, I only got to sit with him for like an hour, but I was like, one day I'm going to make a podcast with that guy.
There was more to be said.
Yeah.
There's more to talk about, definitely.
Yeah. Or the listeners might think, actually,
That's enough of them.
Less to be said.
The other benefit of that advert is you've actually been spotted in public. Have you not?
Yeah. Yeah. So
For your role as hero of the Zoopla commercial and on the Zoopla website. So if you head to the Zoopla website, you will find this beautiful man at the top. But what did this person... Where did you meet them?
Well, I'm in Screwfix getting supplies for the house that I'm renovating that is falling apart. I went up to the desk and I've seen this guy a few times and he's actually a really nice bloke. He was like, I'm sorry to ask, but are you the bloke at the top of the Zoopla website in the dressing gown? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And then he asked, so do you own Zoopla? And I said, yeah, I took my stuff and I left. So I've never been recognised for an advert before. So, I mean, it was quite nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to be recognised for maybe, my stand-up comedy on BBC New Comedy Awards, maybe all the gigs that I do and some of the sketches I've done in the past. But, they really did hammer that home on a lot of billboards. So I can't be complaining.
Yeah. Being in an ad's great. Being in a really successful ad does have its downside as well.
I don't know if this happens really anymore, but there was a real sweet spot of time where if you were in an advert that was like a really sensationalized advert and people knew your face for that advert, you had a small window of opportunity where if you were good or you were funny, more than just, as well as this advert, you also had some you were good at backgammon or something, I don't know. But you had a window of opportunity where you could actually go and do something with that credibility and
springboard.
There was the guy from the BT adverts. I think, he's a great actor. He's very, very funny. I don't know his name. We're going to put it here. We'll put his name here.
With a face.
This is his face. He was in a great film that was about Morecambe and Wise, and he was in a couple of TV series as well. But I don't think that happens so much anymore. Not for the guy in the dressing gown in Zoopla.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue. What we're here to talk about, which is a movie.
A movie.
Called Together.
Directed by Michael Shanks.
An Australian
Yeah.
writer-director. It was your suggestion. And I was like, oh yeah, that movie with the lawsuit around it. About the plagiarism thing.
Yeah.
And then we actually went to watch it. But let's talk about the lawsuit in itself.
We'll go straight into the lawsuit.
Yeah.
That I know very surface information about,
Well, I know maybe a couple millimeters deeper.
Give me the court reading of what they're being
I'll give you what
accused of.
ChatGPT told me.
Okay.
That's it. So basically, they've made this movie. However, in, I believe, 2020, a director has pitched this idea to Dave Franco and his partner, who is
Alison
Brie. Thank you. I was getting mixed up with
And
Dakota
they're married.
Johnson. They're married.
They're a real married couple.
They're real life. We'll talk about that when we actually get into the substance of the movie. But basically, so they presented it to him. They didn't want to do the project with him. And then obviously this movie has come out. And there are some similarities, apparently. The use of the Spice Girls. And obviously central elements of it, the story, which we're going to spoil, obviously.
Massive spoilers.
Massive spoilers
Massive
on the way.
spoilers.
Big ones.
Spoilers coming
Big,
in, left,
juicy
right, centres. So if you haven't watched the film and you're planning to watch the film, maybe
you could just listen to
this.
our...
Listen to this after. Listen to this after.
That'd be way better. So now he's pissed off because he's offered this movie to them. They didn't want to do it, and then they've gone and pretty much made a very similar premise.
So Dave
movie.
Franco, they asked Dave Franco. Dave Franco didn't.
I think they pitched it to him and Alison Brie, or maybe just to him particularly.
Yeah.
And it never came to fruition. So that was in 2020 apparently.
Okay.
And then in 2019
Yeah.
is when this script for Together was originally registered with the Writers Guild of Australia, I think it was.
Michael Shanks registered it.
Yeah, it's he's got them there. No doubt there has been some crossover of elements because apparently everyone's got producer credit in this one.
This is how I see it. If you come up with a concept or an idea, it's likely that concept has probably already been done. I mean, even the concept of like codependency and like bodies like fusing, I was like, that in itself, like, I mean, there's like quite a lot of horror tropes and things where like, you know, skin is like ripping out. Even in Substance, the body is like ripping out of another human being, and there's whole sort of like metaphor behind, you know, like the inner child and the young person coming out of the old person and all that stuff. Like, I tell you what, when me and a friend called Oliver Mallam, we made a film called Robbers like years ago. And it was about these two guys who were complete idiots sitting in the front of a van who were about to rob HSBC. And they'd never robbed a bank before, and it was a sort of like that classic role relationship of like boss and idiot. And we made this film, and then after we released it a few weeks later, some guy got in touch with us and said, you've stolen our film idea. Like, there's so many bits of our film. We'd never heard of his film. We'd never seen it. Like, it was, you know, and we were like, well, I'm curious now. Like, he says, like, we stole his idea and, like, the jokes within the film and blah, blah, blah. And we watched that movie, and, like, granted, there was a couple of, like, gags within the thing. Like, we had the gun wrapped in like Sainsbury's bags that like took forever to get out and things like that, and we were like, there is serendipity here, but at the heart of it, two people have chosen to make a film about something that I think is a concept that two people could come up with, and then there's going to be similarities within that concept, unfortunately. 100%. And you're going to feel a bit jaded if you're a very low budget independent filmmaker. You've made your film, and then some fucking Hollywood person.
You would be so pissed off. And also, you would keep fighting it even if evidence went against it.
Yeah, bad press, good press.
I think
it's putting light on your movie.
The one thing that is suspicious, the lead actors in it have been involved in both projects and had those conversations.
That is weird.
But what I would say as well, if it's 2025 and you've suggested this is someone in 2020... I don't know if you've read Rick Rubin's book, but he says...
No, I've only read 6 books.
None by him. His theory is that ideas that you have you've just found them like from the ether. You've brought them in, and someone else is having the same idea at some time. So like, go and make it. Otherwise, they'll make it for you. It's not a unique idea that's just coming from your brain out of nowhere. You're developing
and this indie
it from other
filmmaker, he
people.
shot his movie.
I think, he shot his movie.
It's a feature-length film.
I couldn't find anywhere to watch it.
No, but it's a feature-length film, and they shot it and made it before this one was released. I mean, we'll see. They'll have their day in court.
I guess they will.
It's spicy. Michael Shanks is like, it's completely fabricated, and I have it registered and can prove
2019,
it's registered and everything like that. Yeah. And you know, we'll see what happens, I suppose. But me personally, my take on it is that it's just unfortunate serendipity, and there's like some bitterness connected to it. Yeah. But it would be such juicy plot twist if they did steal the movie. But if you think about the level of like rigmarole you have to go through before a movie gets greenlit, and like, I don't know how much it cost for this movie to be made, but like, let's say it was like, they shot it in 21 days in Melbourne.
I can tell you how much it was.
How much?
It was 17 million.
A fairly low Hollywood budget.
And for actors of that price tag, let's say. I was going to say caliber. I
mean, we should get on to
the
quality of the acting at some point. Let's start with just like gut reaction to this movie. Jacob, together, what do you think?
I thought it sucked, man.
You thought it sucked?
It's already a really trope-heavy genre. It feels like all trope, but it felt so...
What was trope about it? What was cliche about Together?
It felt like a movie that should have already been made. It didn't really feel that exciting.
Right.
Cinematography was good.
I completely disagree with you.
You didn't like the cinematography?
No,
the movie.
I really love the film. Oh. So this is really good.
Right. Cinematography, good. The writing felt really obvious.
I think we could see it coming.
Oh, totally.
I think like we knew from the trailer what
Yeah.
was going to happen.
Yeah.
There wasn't like too many reveals.
I wondered if the fact that I had seen a trailer of it is actually what completely spoiled it.
There was something that was a little bit like slightly trashy about it. It was quite on the nose, and there was something quite knowing about what was going to happen and how it was going to play out.
Yeah.
There was a predictability to
Yeah.
it. So actually, I wouldn't say trashy. I would say that there was just like, it was quite predictable. But I also didn't mind that.
I know that they're going to get conjoined. There's weird stuff going on. Oh, what do you know? They've fallen into a hole and they've decided, let's just camp here. I'm thirsty, so within the first like 5 minutes, I'm going to drink from a dirty puddle. And then the next morning, it's not raining anymore, so we can just climb out.
That bit is just silly. Like, that bit is just mental. Like, as a plot, okay, if we're looking at the plot, like, that is a massive plot hole. My assumption was, in the end, it was like the village had invited a couple because they wanted more couples to become conjoined and become one person. How do they know that they were going to go for a walk? How do they know they were going to see the bells and go to the hole and then fall in the hole? Like, that's obviously like
riddled with plot holes.
It's obviously problematic. Like, they can fall in the hole, and then he's like, I'm thirsty, I got it. Oh, there's water here. And then he drinks the water, and then obviously she drinks the water. Obviously that's silly. Like, I was discussing this with Georgie, and we were saying that if this was an A24 movie, you wouldn't get the dog bit at the beginning, and you probably wouldn't even get them falling into the hole. It probably would have just been like way more normalized, and then these things started happening. But I think because it started with this what feels like quite a like a trash horror movie where there's this like weird event at the beginning, and then like someone like shines a torch and sees the creature. It felt like it had a little bit of like a taking the piss out of itself, because I mean, even when he falls into the hole and he breaks his phone and he's like, my demos were on there. And that just got me, because I was like, obviously his character is meant to be that he's just like this terrible, shitty boyfriend, and Alison Brie is just like constantly pining for like closeness and
emotional
intimacy
connection,
and connection, and he's just like this big bag of
What's
shit.
scarier than that? Let's be honest.
And he just falls down the hole, breaks the phone. He's like, my demos. Also, can we talk about Dave Franco? He only whisper acts. Just voice your line. Just voice
Take
something.
It's like all one note.
Yeah.
Just louder. It gets louder and quieter, but it's always just really breathy.
Do you reckon in reality he found it like, as on a personal level, like quite challenging to work with his wife? My partner's an actor. I think we have been on screen together. It's hard, like, working with your spouse, like, on set, and like they did the whole film together, 21 days, quite intense. But my partner, she said, it feels like I would have preferred, I know we're not allowed now to like James Franco anymore, but it felt like we were getting like the Timu James Franco.
It does feel like that.
But I felt with Dave Franco, like there was a lot on the same note, which is hard because he is essentially the protagonist. He's the person that, as an audience, we follow the whole film.
Yeah.
But I felt, and tell me if I'm wrong, I felt it would have been more interesting if the roles had been reversed, and Alison Brie's character was the one who was in resentment. And it was just a bit obvious that it was like the man and he was getting dragged out to the middle of nowhere for her job and blah, blah, blah. Like, it felt like it would have been more interesting if it was, we followed her on this resentment journey of being dragged out, and because that's like the less likely
I would have
path
probably
was.
related to her more. I would have felt more connected to the character. The thing is, but in general, they felt like two characters rather than two people. I didn't feel immersed in it remotely.
And the producers said that it was really important that they hired a married couple for the role. And they did. And they found these two. And it feels like, I don't know if they had that much chemistry. But then they were meant to sort of like...
I was shocked when I looked it up later and I was like, they're married.
Yeah. But then also the storyline is that they don't really like each other. They're working
dependent
so hard. They're dependent on each other. And like, really, they're a relationship that should probably end.
It
should have ended years ago. But they've been together for 10 years.
Would you body horror join with your partner? Save on food bills. Yeah. Clothing. never be alone again.
Yeah, one of you's got to be the back of the head, though. One of you's got to be...
And the ass. One
of you is the ass, yeah. I get it. Like, it's all about dependency and if you're in a long-term relationship for a long time, it's this kind of...
You lose yourself.
I think Michael Shanks said something along the lines of, it's the fear and anxiety of losing your independence within a relationship, which I think we've all felt. I mean, I know I've been in relationships where I've felt maybe I'm not like spinning the other plates of my friendships or other things in my life, because especially at the beginning of a relationship, you are just like, you zero in because you're in love and but then you have to also find that balance. And then you do sometimes have this nervousness, don't you, of like, am I watering the plants of the other things in my life? And then you have to like readjust constantly. And after 10 years, I mean, I've been in a 12-year relationship, we won't get into it, but there was like maximum codependency happening there, but like I think it's a very relatable thing for all people.
Did you connect to the film on that level? Because maybe that's why I didn't have that feeling of, this is actually a over-the-top way of showing something that is actually quite common.
He really resented her, didn't he? And I felt Alison Brie was so desperate and she was so pining for his love. Like, on an emotional level, it didn't really like go up there. I think I really wanted to see like some major heart pulling out moments of like, you've really like fucked, I can't leave you because I love you, but like I can't be with you because it hurts me. Like, I think I just needed like more reality, especially for a couple who are like genuinely together. They kind of have the security of like, they can do whatever the fucking they want with each other because they know each other so well.
I hate to point the finger at actors, because the microcosm of the film set, there is so much more at play than just them. But are we saying that is what has let the majority of this film down? I just want to put in this element as well, that you've got Dave Franco's character, who in it, there is an incredibly harrowing secret reveal of that he found his parents dead. Found his parents dead.
He pulls the
pulls
rats
a rat from the
light.
thing. And the telling of it was like watching a drama student have their first crack at something.
There's too much thought going on behind it within what's happening. But maybe like the average audience member, they're just sort of like, oh, that's an interesting story that this guy's telling us. My problem is that she didn't know any of this. They've been together for 10 years. And he's like, I saw my dad just dead and she's just breathing his air and she's just staring at me. And she cuts to her and she's just like, I've never heard that story before. Yeah, that is weird that you've never heard that really story before. After 10 years of being together, you've never heard that.
How'd you
never asked?
How'd your parents die?
How did your dad die?
Yeah, what was that like?
That doesn't come back though, does it? This trauma.
No, it's an awful bit of character building that goes nowhere and is really poorly executed.
If I was to give the benefit of the doubt, okay, if I was to play the good cop here, I would say that was a useful bit of information for us to understand why he's in a codependent relationship, because the relationships that he saw through his parents and the role model, like he saw his mum watch his dad die and she looked to him in a way that she was kind of like in desperation or blame, and that experience led him to not be able to ever leave Alison Brie, no matter
even
what
though he
the
was
circumstance.
deeply unhappy. And
yes, these were the reasons why. And I would say that's probably why it's there. But it would be, I suppose, what it needed was maybe just a little more afterthought of like bringing that back into the realm of the presence later on in the film. I never thought I'd be on a podcast saying the realm of the presence.
Add more words. Add more words to it.
I feel so fancy.
Okay, we mentioned budget earlier because I do want to talk about that, and you mentioned the substance as well, because that is what I drew a comparison to.
Okay.
This 17 million substance cost almost the same. And if you think of the substance had better prosthetic effects, I just got to put out there the weird gory bodies.
Almost
way better
the same.
than the substance.
That's mad. I mean,
Bigger
that
sets,
film looks huge.
Fight schemes looks huge, and it's great as well. Still got big name actors in it as well, and a bigger cast as well. This has got like a cast of 3. but it's cost that much. And then the other comparison I drew was Bring Her Back, which is another Australian horror from this year. I put it out. And
with
that
Sally
costs
Hawkins.
pretty much the same as well. Yeah.
Right.
Just set it in Australia and get Australian actors. Australian actors are great.
I would say the best horror film to come out of like maybe the last 5 years was Talk to Me. If you haven't seen Talk to Me, get yourself to a TV screen. Unless you get spooked easily, then it's pretty spooky. It's pretty spooky, and you will have a scream.
Talk to Me being a scary film.
Yeah.
Can we talk about... I don't think this film was scary, though, either. Together, not
I think
scary.
it was disgusting and gory, but no, I don't think it was scary. I think they got like one little jump out of me where he was in bed, and then when the woman is like at the foot of his bed.
Yeah.
It was like, ah! But apart from that, it was just kind of like... It was just horrifying to watch skin go inside of skin. I'd say that's where like the top praise comes from for me, is the prosthetics and the practical effects used in this movie. The dog, that was all like, it gave me the vibes of like The Thing, where they use like bubble gum and shit to like make the creature. I mean, I enjoyed watching it all because I felt like I knew where it was going, but I enjoyed watching it kind of like fall into chaos. And you've got the moment where he kind of pulls up at the school.
That's an interesting scene.
The kind of this, he's so drawn to her because he's drank this magic water. Some people were saying online like, she didn't drink the water. Oh, Jamie, the school teacher, actually gave her a glass of water in the house, and then he gives her the water. So it was this idea that like,
oh, is that where you thought it came from?
So like some people think that if this didn't happen with the hole, the school teacher guy is like, he has a glass of... He's got the fucking cave water on tap. I don't know. That's pretty far-fetched.
Okay.
But they both drink the water.
Do you know what I thought it was?
What?
I thought that, obviously, Dave Franco's got the thing. And then in the sex scene, I think in the act of...
He infects her.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Because I knew...
Gets it then.
I knew what was going to happen. So when I'm watching the cave bit, I'm like, he's drank the water. She better drink the water, otherwise this magic's not going to work. And then she drinks the water. You just see her like, and then gives it back. Do you reckon they watched that movie? What's that movie where the two brothers are conjoined brothers?
Oh, Stuck on You?
Stuck on You. Do you reckon they watched that?
I preferred that.
That is a classic movie. That is so good. I have not seen that in years.
Yeah.
And they're in the restaurant and they're doing like all the fucking like frying, and then one guy's chopping the onions, and then they like swing each other around and they're like cooking like this.
See, that was a better movie about codependency for me.
That was a really good movie. This was a little bit like safe in places.
Yeah.
But potentially that came from the script that was put together. The ending was weird because the parents open the door and they're like, hey, hi. It was kind of a weird reaction to them seeing their child like not with the same face.
I wonder if a bit more mystery at the end, if they just cut that bit, it would have been more interesting. Leaving with the question, I wonder what they look like when they're combined.
Yeah.
Like maybe just the back of their heads or stuff like that. Because I felt like this
done, like,
composited
thing
of them
like just twitching whilst merging.
The big eyebrows and the shorter, like half-length hair. Who is this new person? That was like the final nail in the coffin for me.
It was cheese for you.
Cheese, so
big cheese.
So cheese. Too much
Huge
cheese.
Stilton. Opening the door.
Rate it.
What is the get in the bin rating? Is it out of 10?
Out of 10's good.
If it's under 5, it's get in the bin. And then we get a little buzzer. We get a little buzzer and we'll go, and then it'll be like, you're going to find the buzzer? All your fun things. Oh, fun. What does it say? It's kind of obnoxious, isn't it? It's really kind of obnoxious. It's kind of fun though, but like I almost wouldn't want to push it again because then I'd have to hear it.
Yeah, it's quite unpleasant to be honest.
Maybe it can be just like Dave Franco whispering, "Oh my god,
oh my god,
oh my god, I wanted to be in the band."
Yeah. I've been told I have the same eyes.
Eyes
as James Franco.
As James Franco, is that something you want?
What do you think of that?
We're gonna have to put
not particularly.
We're gonna have to put you in the bin.
You can put me in the bin.
Let's have a look.
What do you think?
No, I don't see it.
No,
I think maybe
probably grown out of it. It's fine. It was quite a few years.
You have lovely eyes, though.
Thanks.
Yeah, you have nice eyes.
Yes.
I think more like Oscar Isaac.
I'll take that. He's got nice eyes.
Yeah.
Nice eyes.
Anyway, okay, out of 10. I had a pretty good time watching this movie. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a little like silly at times. There was some silly bits, some plot holes. I particularly enjoyed when Dave Franco got his penis stuck inside of Alison Brie, and
Highlight of the film.
that was, particularly uncomfortable to watch. Also, really loved all the sound, all of the ripping noises, all of the ASMR. Like, that was what made it all really grotesque for me. I came away feeling pretty satisfied. I mean, I paid to watch the movie on Prime, and I wasn't sad about it. Yeah, it got me on the edge of my seat a few times. But at the same time, I think it could have gone further. I think it could have got a little bit more extreme at times. Mm-hmm. It could have been a bit more raw and a bit more ugly, and a bit more like really representative of what like the shit bits of relationships and how they can really be quite exposing and things like that. And I think, yes, few more reveals, something that was a little bit more unexpected because I did kind of know what was going to happen the whole time. On that basis, I'm going to give that a solid 6.9.
6.9.
6.9.
We're going for points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't go straight numbers. 6.9.
Okay. 6.9. 69. Way down there.
69.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that would have been a bad place to get stuck
That would have...
together.
And imagine that melding into one. All leg. All leg.
Your cock just super gluing in your mouth.
Yeah. That would have been a hard one to rip out. I thought this movie was kind of uninspiring take on what feels like an initial idea. It didn't feel very nuanced at all. And I think it wasn't helped by being written and directed by the same person. If it had been written by one person and directed by another, I think there would have been two sets of eyes to kind of just sense check some things. I feel there's always a bit of a risk with that sometimes. It didn't really seem to have a super clear, distinctive voice. So I think the benefit of having the same person writing and directing it wasn't there. I found myself multiple times looking at my partner, who I was watching it with together, and both rolling our eyes, because I think there was a lot of an unnecessary stuff that made it objectively worse. I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh no. We've got to decide whether it goes in the bin.
Communally,
Yeah.
it is above a 10. So I think
it's safe from the bin.
I think it's safe from the bin.
I
It's
saved
safe from the
together
bin.
from the bin. I do
so
agree with you
dislikable.
to an extent. Maybe it could have had some of its like earlier flaws like bashed out, and I think that voice thing is quite an important one. What was its like leading vibe and its style, like like A24 movies, they always try and like really hammer that home, even if they're made by different directors and producers.
Yeah.
They're always like, what do we feel as we're watching this movie? Yeah. And that's what Substance did really well, is that we always felt really like uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was like we were watching the movie from this sort of like voyeuristic point of view.
Felt like a first draft, some of it.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to press it anyway.
It's in the win bin. It's in the win bin.
It's
Can
in
we
the
have
win
it
bin.
coming down, going to a bin, and then being like saved, and then into the
Yeah.
win bin?
Well, maybe that none of these things will happen, and it will just be us describing those things.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to fact check this. I want to say at the moment, Rotten Tomatoes for
It's up
Together
there.
is like
I think it
98%.
Come on.
It's pretty high, man. Well, I guess that was like
I think
sort of
that's
episode 1, man.
I think that's it. I think we're
Yeah.
done.
Get out there and watch this new film called Together.
You heard it here.
And thanks for listening, joining along and hearing what we had to say about this film and all of the weird stuff in between. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this. I've never done a podcast. I quite like chatting.
It's nice, isn't
You're
it?
quite nice to chat to.
Yeah.
I
Likewise.
don't know if blokes say that to each other enough, but I quite like talking to you.
Is this the cure for male loneliness? Starting a podcast. So you got to do. That's why there's so many. It's actually just men's therapy.
Yeah.
Just men's talking.
That
groups.
is so it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's two white guys on a podcast, two straight cis white guys. They come together and they go, man, I've never just sat down and just like had a nice conversation with another man. I hear blokes talking on the tube and I'm like, you talk about nothing. But get on a podcast and maybe they'd let it free flow, man.
Yeah. Talk about their feelings.
Talk about their feelings and
Opinions,
films.
thoughts.
Oh, films and feelings. That would have been a good podcast name. But now we're stuck with Get in the Bin. So.
Films and Feelings. Oh, do we have to be stuck again?
We're done. Right. Jacob does not like Get in the Bin.
Join us next time for a possible rebrand. That's all I'll say.
Of Films and Feelings. Goodbye, everyone.
Wow.
It's low wave out.
What did you think of that?
I suppose this is where the theme tune will kick in, won't it?
Films and Feels. This is Films and Feels. We watch films and we tell you what we feel. It's Films and Feels with Jacob and Josh. Welcome to Films